Welcome guys back to another video on the channel. We are doing another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily. Sorry for no videos over the last 24-36 hours. I've not been feeling the greatest, but yeah, I'll be grinding out the content, and today we've got a lot of pieces of news including Torreira and Thomas Partey as a swap deal could be on. We have an update on Hassan Aouar, and we are going to be looking at Arteta's press conference as well, so let's get straight into it. So the first bit of news is on Lucas Torreira, as apparently, we all thought that a move to Torino or Fiorentina was basically done, but now apparently there has been a twist in this saga, as according to Sport 89, a publication in Uruguay, Diego Simeone has called the Gunners midfielder to tell him that he is wanted in the Spanish capital before the summer transfer window shuts next month. In addition, journalist HJ90 hints that Torreira could be tempted by a move to Atletico, and that's despite looking set for a return to Italy amid links to Torino and Fiorentina. Now, obviously, we all know that obviously we want Thomas Partey, who plays in a similar position to Lucas Torreira, and if Atletico Madrid really want the player, there could be a swap deal on between the two players. I think this could be a really good swap deal to happen, because obviously Mikel Arteta really doesn't want to keep Lucas Torreira. He wants to get rid of him so he can fund the deals for the likes of Hassan Aouar and Thomas Partey. But because Atletico Madrid are now interested in Lucas Torreira, there could be a swap deal on, as Arsenal are still trying to chase Thomas Partey. I have said that the links have died down, but now this Lucas Torreira twist that has come about, his transfer news, has really sparked some light onto Thomas Partey Lucas Torreira swap deal. In terms of how much money would be required plus Lucas Torreira to get Thomas Partey, in my opinion, I think he would have to be in the region of around 20 to 25 million pounds plus Lucas Torreira to try and get Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. Atletico have always said they don't want to sell Partey, but it looks like they want Torreira, and if they want Torreira, they might have to give up on Thomas Partey, who obviously has a €50 million release clause. This will be a boost to Mikel Arteta, because it looked like we were going to go after Aouar instead of Partey, because of the simple fact that even though Aouar would cost more, there would be more structuring within the deal, which means, we can pay the sums of money over time, which would make more sense for Arsenal, because apparently they have no money, even though I think that's fake. But yeah, we have to roll with what we have to roll, even though Edu and Vinay says we do have to sell before we can buy. Again, I'm pretty sure they're lying, but we'll have to see in the coming days whether any of this is true. We did offer Lucas Torreira to Atletico Madrid as part of a Thomas Partey swap a few weeks ago, but now that has sort of died down. Apparently Atletico didn't want him now, and now reports are saying Diego Simeone has called him. So the reports are contradicting over the last few weeks, but again, this is very promising that this Thomas Partey deal is still on. I wouldn't get too excited right now, because these are early stages of contacts between Atletico and Lucas Torreira, and obviously if Atletico do end up contacting Arsenal over the player's availability, obviously if Lucas Torreira wants to go to Atletico instead of Italy, then Arsenal will just say, well, give us Thomas Partey then, because obviously Arsenal want Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid, and Atletico might have to do some compromising, because thing is, if Arsenal have some money on deadline day in the 11th hour or something, they might just go and pay the release clause, and Atletico won't have time to get a replacement, and that is something Atletico are trying to get to grips with. Maybe they are, maybe they know that. So that's why they're probably going to try and sign Lucas Torreira in replacement for Thomas Partey. Now, again, I can't give you any concrete evidence whether, this will happen. Atletico are going to contact Arsenal over Lucas Torreira, because he's had a deal agreed with Torino and Fiorentina. Does he want to go to Italy, or does he want to go to Atletico? It will be very interesting to see what happens with this one. But that is the news, that a Lucas Torreira Thomas Partey deal could be on. Next bit of news is on Alex Runarsson, as reports suggest from Charles Watts, who is a news correspondent at Gold. He has suggested that Alex Runarsson has been in London yesterday to complete a medical for a move to Arsenal. Mikel Arteta has also referred to this in his press conference. We'll be going on to his press conference later, so I'm not going to link it now. You just have to wait on to the end of the video to find that out. I don't know much about this player, and he doesn't look like the greatest of goalkeepers. He actually conceded 61 goals in around 30 odd games in Liga for Dijon. We are going to be looking at this report from Get French Football News, more about Alex Runarsson's apparently Arsenal's bizarre bet. With Emiliano Martinez having moved to Aston Villa, Arsenal are in need of a deputy for Bert Leno. The Argentine performed well in the German's absence, but was clear upon Leno's return from injury that he would be keeping his place, despite Martinez having shown he is clearly of a Premier League level. With the Gunners on the hunt for a reserve goalkeeper, they have turned to Liga, as they have so often in their history, this time to sign Alex Runarsson from Dijon. The Icelandic goalkeeper has been relegated to backup status since the arrival of Alfred Gomes, the impressive Senegal international, last summer, and his sale for €2 million represents a small profit for Dijon, who have far more pressing concerns in their rebuilding their squad, with Gomes arguably their best player. So then a promising young player from France that's worked out well for Arsenal in the past, but also hasn't more recently, and the thinking here is that he's more likely to be a latter than a former in his instance. Runarsson had impressed in Denmark for Nordsjælland before joining Dijon to replace Baptiste Reyna, who had left for Toulouse in the summer of 2018. Reyna, a superb reflex goalkeeper, is right to be more ambitious than Dijon, and Renarsson's purchase, given the balance of his age and experience, seemed a sound investment. The results, however, were less than glowing. In his first season, Renarsson conceded 43 goals in 25 matches, eventually being benched for Bobby Alain, a player who had just one match as a professional to his credit prior to the start of the season. He'd regain a starting spot later in the season, but generally far from assured, as Dijon just managed to survive relegation by beating Lens in the promotion/relegation playoff. As a result, Gomez was brought in from Italy and Renarsson was on the bench once more. He would feature in a handful of matches at season's end after Gomez suffered a knee injury, but again was totally devoid of confidence, strength and poise. His only win came against Toulouse side, who were historically poor last season, and he failed to keep a clean sheet in any of his 11 appearances. Renarsson's numbers can be blamed, albeit only slightly, on playing for a Dijon side in his first season that was far too attack-minded for its own good, but he frankly was culpable for many of their troubles. A decent keeper in terms of his reflexes, positioning and aerial ability is lacking badly. While he does have a powerful kick, his distribution out from the back has been very bad, and he puts his defenders under a lot of pressure. Two at Dijon, a long ball's reasonable choice, as in Julio Tavares, and joined Cadiz, he had two reasonable aerial threats at which to aim, something that will scarcely be the case in North London. Rather than to pick apart his skill set any further, suffice is to say that if Arsenal see a goalkeeper who is second choice for the worst team in Liga this season as a viable option to be their own deputy, they had better make a non-too inconsiderable offering to the injury gods of Lennon's behalf. So it does look like Renarsson isn't the greatest goalkeeper, and Get French Football News are suggesting that it's a very bizarre move that Arsenal have made, because he's not even good enough to be Dijon's backup. So how is he going to be a good Arsenal backup? Maybe Inaki Kana, who did work with him at Neuschland in Denmark, could, see something in him that could suggest that he could be a good backup. Maybe Arsenal are going for Torreira as well, who knows? But hopefully this report has told you a lot more about Renarsson and what you can expect from him. I don't think I'll expect much from him, but that is the news that we have signed goalkeeper Alex Renarsson from Dijon as our backup, and yeah, let's see how it goes. And an announcement should be made today. We are playing West Ham today, so I think it will be announced on Monday, I think. Next bit of news is on Hassan Aouar. We aren't going to be talking about him too much. Obviously, a lot of news coming out today that he has agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Now, I'll tell you something about this. I reported this a few weeks ago, so I'm not going to put this in the title just to get more views. I've already said this. The personal terms have never been a problem. The problem is to agree a deal with Lyon. Now, the main reason I'm talking about this in this video is apparently the Lyon owner has said to journalist Chris Wheatley, he was asked about if Arsenal are likely to agree a deal for Aouar. Aulas told journalist Chris Wheatley, "No, I don't think so. No offer yet. It seems that Arsenal don't want to or can't invest the price for Hassan, who is our best player." Now, what I'll say about this is, my opinion on this is, there have been a lot of photos and tweets from previous years talking about Lacazette and other players that Lyon have let go in the past, and Aulas has said similar things, that a deal hasn't been agreed yet and the player doesn't want to go. Things like that, really petty things like that. But you do expect the owner to say that, because Hassan Aouar is obviously their best player. Obviously, they don't want to let him go, but they don't have any European football, Lyon, so why would Hassan Aouar, who is their best player, stay at the club when he's done so well in Europe, and obviously wants to move to the Europe's best elite clubs? Arsenal are not right now an elite club, but obviously they are in the Europa League, which is a step above from being in no European competition at all. And while we did suggest yesterday wants to come to Arsenal, he wants a move to Arsenal, so it could be a real possibility. It could happen. So if anyone is reading this Lyon owner's statement about Aouar, I wouldn't get worried at all. All these owners say the same thing. But obviously, if Arsenal do end up stumping up the cash, obviously Lyon will have to get rid of him. And Aouar, if he wants to move to the Premier League, if he wants to come to Arsenal, he would have to take the cash and move on. Other reports are suggesting that a deal is very close. Arsenal are preparing a bid that could be closer to Lyon's valuation of around 55 million euros. Now, again, there will be some sort of compromise, but Arsenal adding on add-ons, and it will be done in installments. Obviously, that's how Arsenal roll around here. Lyon did actually play last night, and they actually drew 0-0. I forgot which team it was against. Hassan Aouar obviously didn't play in that game. He got a red card. He didn't get a 3-match ban. He got a 1-match ban. Obviously, he tried to get probably a 3-match ban to sort out his future, but no, he didn't do that. And it will be very interesting to see whether Arsenal do stomp up the cash. We are playing West Ham today. I don't think any will happen today, but hopefully next week Arsenal can sort out a deal to sign Hassan Aouar. But that is the news that the Lyon owner Aulas has spoken to a journalist and said that there has been no offer for Aouar yet, something I reported 2 days ago. So that's been confirmed, and that Arsenal maybe don't want him, but again, I'll assure you that is fake. Arsenal will put in a bid very soon. So the next piece of news is on Sead Kolasinac, and our reports are ramped that he could be on his way back to Germany, as Bayer Leverkusen and Schalke are really interested in getting Sead Kolasinac back to Germany. Now, he hasn't had the greatest time at Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta has spoken about his future, as he was asked in his press conference about him. We'll be going on to that in a bit, but Sead Kolasinac, I would like to see him go. I think we could get quite a bit of money for him, and the price being touted around for him is around £9 million. I think that is very good, considering he's on nearly £150,000 a week. He did sign from Arsenal, from Schalke, on a free transfer, so that's why he's earning quite a bit of money, and I think if we can let him go, it would be a good bit of business. It could help us get some other deals done and fund other wages for other players that we could sign. So in my opinion, I think we should be letting Sead Kolasinac go. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below whether you would let Sead Kolasinac go, and when you think and where you think £9 million is a good. Last bit of news is on, we are going to be touching on Mikel Arteta's press conference about transfers and other little things, and we are going to be giving our thoughts on that. So first of all, he was asked on whether we need to sell to bring in more players. He said, we are trying all the time to adjust the squad in the most efficient way. It is clear at the moment that has to go both ways, and in order to achieve that, we still have some time, but we are pretty clear in what we are trying to do. And obviously we talked about Alex Reyna earlier, and he was asked on a deal for a new goalkeeper. He said, obviously with the departure of Emi, which is a big loss and something I think we all wish for the best, and what he's done for the football club as well as the person he is, we have to replace him. We are looking in the market, and I think we will shortly be in a position to announce a new signing. Now, obviously Alex Reyna has been in London to complete a medical, something we said earlier in the show, and Mikel Arteta is basically confirming that we have signed him, and that should be announced very soon. And lastly, we are going to be looking on Sead Kolasinac being linked with Leverkusen for family reasons, and if it's hard to stand in a player's way in those circumstances. Mikel Arteta says, I think in every case you have to try and take it individually. First of all, try to understand the reason, if that's the case, when they want to leave and why. If there are things that you can help them to change, to give them more, you have to try and maximize those options. When it comes to a point where it's obviously something that you cannot control and cannot help, and it's evident and clear, and then you open the door. But then it goes down to the club to decide when and how that's a player within a contract that has to get the right value and go to the right club. Now, Mikel Arteta was doing a lot of waffling there about Sead Kolasinac, so that makes me think I think he wants to let him go, and it does seem like Sead Kolasinac wants to go back to Germany. Now, if Bayer Leverkusen really want him, I think this deal could be sorted within the next few days. I think this is something that will ramp up very quickly. Sead Kolasinac didn't play in the game against Fulham. Obviously, this is being recorded before the West Ham game. It will be uploaded before the West Ham game, and I'm not sure if he's going to be playing in that one either. Obviously, Kieran Tierney being Arsenal's first choice left back, and I do think Sead Kolasinac will end up leaving Arsenal. It's very sad, but yeah, that's how it goes, and hopefully we can get a good bit of money from him and reinvest it in elsewhere. So that is it for today's Arsenal Transfer News Daily. Again, sorry for not uploading yesterday. Again, I'm not feeling the greatest. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Also, quickly, player ratings after the West Ham game.